The following podcast does have an explicit tag, and boy, have we earned the right to use it.
One, two, three, into the folk. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door.
Today is January 17th, and we are back after taking some time to settle our differences. We are now back to our, I guess you could call it, usual format. Regardless, I, as always, am the host with the most of everything except sex appeal, Keith, and joining me is the host with the most sex appeal, Jen. Welcome back. I've missed you. It's been too long.
You forgot the cunning cunt.
Man, we should start a new show where we just use that as your alias, and then you can just go off on everything you want.
Oh my god, that would be... I'll let you know about that in like another month or two.
Alright, well, so we've had several episodes where it's been us plus guests, so I'm sure our listeners are starting to wonder if maybe we secretly hate each other, and this is really just us trying to keep the show alive without it showing,
Yes.
but rest assured, we have settled our differences, and we are back and ready to go scrappy-doo once again with
We
each
just
other.
needed a change up in the format, because it got boring looking at each other and talking to each other all day long.
It does, it really does.
It really does.
Yeah. So we haven't had any emails trying to offer us any corrections, no messages. We're kind of lonely. People, please write us. Tell us you love us. Tell us you hate us. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care, I need contact. I'm a single mom, and all I have contact with is a 4-year-old all day long. I need adult contact. Somebody, please.
Yeah. We have had some interesting stuff going on, though, which has been kind of fun. Just checking out our statistics, because we can kind of see where we've been listening to. So
Jen's divorce was final. That was interesting.
Yes, I think we've already talked about that one.
Jen's divorce was final.
Yeah, so, checking out our statistics, it looks as though our Russian sleeper has awoken and started listening to her cell. So, comrade, welcome.
Please contact us. We would love to get to know you. We
Actually,
really would.
I do believe the translator says I should be saying Missia Zavarshayetsia. I think I may have said that right. I hope so. I don't know.
If they're listening to us in English, that means they understand what the fuck we're saying, so...
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
Shh. Okay, number one, shut the fuck up. I'm just... This is kind of curious to me. I'm like, who is listening
Please
to us?
contact us. We would love to know.
We really want to get to know who's listening to us. We really do.
I'm completely fascinated by modern Russian culture, so please, I'd love to have you on this show. And
by the way, if it's Putin, Jen's coming for you.
Oh my god, please let me hate fuck you. Please let me hate fuck you. Please.
So we're not even 3 minutes into the show, and we're already talking about Jen getting laid. We are totally right back to where we started.
We are right back on schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Have no fear.
So why don't we just dive right the fuck into our news here? It's probably going to be a bit of a short show. We've got just a few little news stories. I'm kind of a little hectic right now. I'm actually in the process of moving, so our release schedule is going to be fucked up. And Jen, of course, is going to tell me when I'm going to go, well, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. But seriously, long story short.
No, I was actually sick last week, so this time it was my fault. And my kid was sick yesterday, so I don't know how on ball I'm going to be today.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. But, long story short, so I'm moving. The girlfriend and I are making that next big step, so be prepared to hear stories from living with a Catholic. That'll be fucking interesting.
I need to get a new passport because I know you two are going to get married and I have to come.
Oh, hell yeah, you have to be there.
I have to be there. If only for the fucking comedy value for the drunken congratulations speech.
Oh, God, yeah. The guy who I've picked out, who I know would be my best man, hell or high water, he would definitely, he would go a little risque, and I don't know if the little Filipinos could handle it, but fortunately they don't all speak as good English, so...
Well, now it's a fucking challenge.
Yay. Yeah, so, long story short, if Jen ends up being able to make it to my wedding, when that happens in a couple of years... Rest assured, she will be the MC because I want the drunken speech.
Oh, I don't even need to be drunk to make a good one.
Doesn't matter.
Has
to be drunk.
Has to be drunk.
Just for fun. Okay.
I'm shit-faced and I'm going to tell everyone why I love Keith.
Okay, so, in lieu of the whole me integrating my life with a Catholic, we're going to dive into some Catholic stories here. So, this is...
Way to be a fucking attention whore.
Yeah, I know, right? Actually, this one just kind of fell into my lap. I was going through Tumblr, and I saw the headline. It read, Calgary Bishop under fire for opposing LGBTQ guidelines for schools. This is no surprise to me. I actually have experiences with this atrocious human being.
Well, no, what surprises me is that you got news from Tumblr. That's the shocking part.
Well, it's one of the accounts that I follow. It just puts out like headlines, so I actually have to go and look up the headlines. It's like, oh.
The only thing I know Tumblr for is really bad fan fiction and kind of halfway decent free porn.
Halfway decent? You're looking in the wrong spots.
I have no idea how to effectively look for porn on Tumblr, so if someone can please give me a step-by-step, I would really appreciate it.
The best thing you can do, in my experience, is Google whatever porn you're looking for and click on whatever Tumblr pages pop up. So, listeners,
or I could
check it out.
I can put in what kind of porn I'm looking for and then just type in Tumblr and just...
Yeah, that works too.
But I never find like videos on Tumblr. They're all GIFs, and I like videos.
Oh, see, I've found plenty of videos. That's easy.
I've got to get on the ball with this shit. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Let's get back
on
to
the ball.
let's. Yeah, like I need to get back on the ball. Period. But
No, balls. If he's only got one, I think you're humping Lance Armstrong.
I don't give a shit if he's only got one. I don't give a shit if he doesn't have any. I don't need the balls.
It's called a strap-on, Jen.
I need the balls. I just need the... No, I need, like, flesh penis. Like, pulsating, warm flesh penis.
On that subject, Fred Henry. He is the bishop for the Diocese of Calgary. He has a long-standing career of being an asshole, a douchebag, an opportunist when it comes to hating on women. Matter of fact, here, let me pull up just a little rant that I had about him the other day, because it was a little... I thought it was rather perfect. And yes, again, I am stalling as I look around through my pictures to find a fucking picture. Alright. So anyways, a local radio station was talking about how Fred Henry made some little tantrum public on his blog, which, I don't know, I might tackle on a later date. He's whining and crying about how in the Catholic school system, because the Calgary Catholic Separate School Board, I think is what it's called, as a separate school board. I don't care.
That's an odd name for the education system. We just call it the Department of Education and make it simple.
Oh, we actually have two school boards. We have the Calgary Separate School Board, which is represented by the bishop, which is bullshit. Okay. And then we have the regular public education. Anyways, so here's what I said about Fred Henry.
Okay, I get it now.
I said, he likes to cling to the old ways. He thinks that Catholicism is all about inclusivity and equality, all the while actively working against those very virtues. His take on transgendered individuals is that they need to just get over it and be someone that they aren't. He is viciously against women's rights and has no problem spouting off about how anyone not Catholic is less of a human being. Why can't we just ignore this insult to Antiques Roadshow and let him stomp his feet, throwing his tantrums while the rest of society fucking moves on? I added that fucking for brevity. Did you like that? Did you like that?
I like that, and I think that's a perfect idea. Let him fucking sit in his room and what and cry and bitch and moan and just move the fuck on with life.
But the problem is, though, is that he holds a position of power. He's actually influencing a school board which has, public funding, number one. That's a fucking issue right there.
Wait, your Catholic schools have public funding?
Not 100%, but my understanding is that they take some. Again, this is a whole other issue that I want to dive in. Maybe our number one fan, Jim, and I might do a little research, because I know he's got a lot more experience. He's a lot smarter than I am, so I tend to seek him out when I need these
Because from what I'm
answers.
used to, it's, there obviously, there's oversight from, there's kind of guidance from the Department of Education, but they're completely privately funded, which is why the tuition rates are like 20, 30, 40 grand a year.
Yeah. But anyways, so what's going on here is recently there have been guidelines for school that were put forth by... wow, I really did not properly research this. I know, shocking. So basically, what has happened in Alberta is there were guidelines for the LGBTQ youth when it comes to gender, inclusion, equality, etc., etc.
Which is like, they can use...
whatever fucking bathroom they feel right.
With, right.
Yeah. However, Freddy Boy here has penned a letter opposing the province's new guidelines, calling them,
Of course he did.
quote, anti-Catholic, end quote, totalitarian, end quote, because how dare you tell us not to be discriminatory. So, according to him, one of the key principles which is being overlooked is the idea that ongoing abuse exists within Alberta's schools, particularly directed towards LGBTQ students.
But,
sorry, that wasn't according to him. That was Kelly Ernst, president of the Rocky Mountain Civil Liberties Association. Oh, wow. RMCLA. That's a mouthful and a half right there.
That's a balls mouthful right there.
That's a Mandingo mouthful, baby.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but
pretty awesome.
Freddie says the provincial guidelines, which were released, are designed to protect students from bullying, harassment, and harm in Alberta's. God damn it, I'm really fucking up. No, it wasn't
Wow.
Fred. It was Kelly who said that the guidelines are to protect students. So these 12 new guidelines are including allowing transgender students to use their washroom of choice, which we just said, and to dress or play on sports teams according to their own perception of their gender. Again, I do need to look into this, and I apologize for not being better versed on the topic. But anyways, so Fred Henry voiced his disapproval of GSAs. We had an issue with our former premier. He put forward some legislation saying that GSAs were not to be discriminated against, and they were to be allowed, basically. And Fred Henry, and of course every religious zealot in the city, went up in arms because, how dare you tell us we can't be bigots? Ah! Shit like
Because
that.
you're oppressing me.
Yeah. How dare you oppress my Christian privilege? Oh, sorry, hang on.
I am like the only person that doesn't get like violently grossed out from that.
For those of you at home not watching the Not Another Atheist podcast show, I am flapping my cheeks when I do this.
It is not me furiously masturbating for the, I don't know, wait,
No.
what is it, Sunday? 3,000th time this week.
It is me furiously masturbating.
Ooh, baby.
I know.
You need to soundbite that, because we can, that ooh baby that I just did, because we can throw that into a lot of shit.
I totally can soundbite that shit. Have
Yeah,
you not
me
noticed
too.
that if you listen to the end of our show, I always do that. I always
know.
take my favorite soundbites.
I'm saying,
It's
we gotta
just my-
save that one. That was good.
Alright, I will make note of that. Yeah. So anyways, Ernst was talking about GSAs, Gay Straight Alliances, for those of you not up on the acronyms that we use in this high-paced world. He says these are voluntary clubs, which is true. So if your personal or religious belief is so diametrically opposed to what a GSA is about, you don't need to attend, which, holy shit, that is by far the most fucking brilliant piece of advice I think I've ever heard.
That is the most adult advice I think I've ever heard.
Like,
if you don't
if
like
you-
it, don't participate.
And let's
Ta-da!
let's
And we've ended the podcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
and we're dropping the mics. Good night, everybody. Go home. No. Let's add the caveat that so long as this group is clearly not infringing on anybody's rights to, bodily autonomy, anything like that,
Right.
by, lynching them, then what the fuck is the problem? Yeah, okay, white supremacists still gather and they get police protection when they have their little protests, but who the fuck cares? If we as a society take a look at these people and say, you're fucking clowns, we're not going to deal with you, we're just going to walk away.
I don't even see the point in saying that. I mean, I know you guys have laws up there that hate speech will put you in jail. Like that blows me away. Like,
I'm not totally certain, but yeah.
Like, I think there's been a couple of cases of it. That fucking blows me away. Like, to me, I mean, I live in the South. I've seen the white supremacist marches, and I've seen the Westboro Baptist Church, because I live right near a military base. A very popular one at that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I see these people getting all fucking crazy and shit, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Oh, we have to stop them from protesting. No, the fuck we don't.
No,
It's
let them.
Let them. It's fucking words. What the absolute best thing you can do is literally walk into the middle of that crowd, pay no attention to them, and carry on your day.
Give
No,
them
we
no
don't-
attention. And
I can't stand that shit where it's like, we have to stop the white supremacists from protesting. No, we don't. At least not in my country. No, we don't. We don't. I can get up on my roof and start screaming about, I saw Jesus last night in my vibrator, and he told me every time I fucking orgasm, the rapture is coming, and he takes more people. Sorry, David Bowie. Sorry, Alan Rickman.
Yeah, but Jen, let's Oh god, the world really is such a different place now. Anyways, Jen, let's face it, you bought that cross, Jesus on the cross dildo vibrator combination thing, right? We all know you did. So that's why you saw Jesus.
No, it's not a vibrator, it's just a regular one, which is why I haven't bought it yet, but if they do add a vibration option to it, then yes, I would consider it.
Oh, I'm sure with the right tools you could probably make that a reality.
That's the thing. Oh god, that takes way too much work. Anyway.
Is your orgasm not worth it, Jen? Is your sexual gratification and it went in tandem with blasphemy? Is that not worth it?
No, I
think of the children.
I am very much I like what I need immediately in front of me because I don't have time to sit and fuck with shit. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. We can let this guy go and spout off at the fucking mouth of whatever the fuck he wants to say. Who gives a fuck? The problem that I have is that he's actively trying to change the regulations that have now been put in place, which would be severely detrimental to the children that will now have to go back to living in a state of mind and a state of consciousness that makes them miserable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, sweet. I found the story I was reading earlier.
How can we get rid of this guy? Like, how can we remove him?
Apparently he has to either fucking die or be punted by the Pope, and really, let's face it, Pope Francis is nothing but a public relations dream, wet dream come fucking true.
Right.
I am so done with everybody lining up to kiss his ass when he does absolutely nothing.
I mean,
he talks out of both sides of his mouth. He will sit there and he will say, "Who am I to judge a homosexual?" while going into a third world country and looking and supporting referendums to go against legislation for marriage equality. He is actively fighting against marriage equality.
I mean, he believes that it's a sin, and you know what? He's entitled to believe that. I mean, that's honestly how I feel about it. He's entitled to believe it. He's more progressive than the popes that I've ever seen.
In his words, anyways.
Especially when it comes down to like atheists and shit like that. He's way more fucking progressive.
Oh yeah, we can go to heaven now.
Yeah, when you turned around and said atheists can make it to heaven too, I was just like, fuck you, yes! And then I'm like, wait, it's only the Catholics that follow him. It's the Christians we're fighting.
Technically, Catholics are Christians.
Yeah, but it's different.
By technicalities.
It's. I grew up Catholic. It's actually very, very different. But it's like, Catholics don't fucking care. Catholics, let me tell you, by and large, really don't give a shit. Because we've seen so much on the fucked end of history that it's just like, yo, you know what? It ain't fucking worth it. It ain't fucking worth it. It's the Christian sects that came after Catholicism, which can be, I guess, described as relatively new in comparison to Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if, I don't know if you've seen this, but the Anglican Church has now pretty much excommunicated the U.S. Episcopalian Church.
Why?
Because they will allow gay marriages to be performed in their churches.
Goddamn queers trying to get murdered.
They put them on a 3-year ban. They cannot vote in whatever fucking tribal council thing the fuck. I don't know shit about the Anglican religion. Whatever tribal council thing that they do.
You have been voted off the island.
Yeah, they pretty much voted them off the island for 3 years. Because they allow gay marriage to be performed in their churches.
Oh, no.
It's mainly a Christian end of the issue, is more than a Catholic.
Yeah.
But this guy's fucking ridiculous. They're not your children. No matter how many times you touch them, they're not your children.
Oh, shit! She didn't just go there. Oh,
yeah, shade, motherfucking shade. Call me Bernie Sanders, bitch. Shade. Anyway.
So one of my favorite parts of the Fred Henry response is the guy. He says, "The guidelines show no evidence of consultation with or sensitivity to the Catholic community." Wah. I added that one.
Why don't we actually ask the Catholic community?
Well, hang on, because I need to read this next sentence, because this is the most honest thing I think he's ever said. And are you sitting down?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you are. I can see it. I'm just playing. Anyways, he says, these guidelines breathe pure secularism. No fucking shit. That's kind of the society we're going for, Freddie boy. I don't know if you know this, but you guys aren't the only religion in town, especially not anymore. And the rest of the world has...
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the world has seen the bullshit your organization has pulled. You know, I mean, in recent weeks, Matthew the Apostle of In the Name of the God, the podcast, he was talking about I think it was a priest in Winnipeg who had molested several children. Right. And I think the bishop knew about it. Again, I could be probably a little bit wrong on that one. I'm kind of trying to remember it, and I've been drinking for a little bit. But
they know.
Shut the hell up.
They know. Believe me, they know.
Anyway, so both the school boards have until March to get their guidelines set up for how they're going to accommodate students who are, transgendered, queer, blah blah blah. For the school year, right? Which is fucking awesome because it's about fucking time. Right. I'm sorry. Let them fucking go pee in the bathroom where they feel most comfortable. If you think for half a second that somebody wants to use the other bathroom just to watch somebody pee, even though they're sitting there saying, I am a woman, let me pee in the woman's bathroom, and you think they're doing it because they want to see vaginas, that exposes more about your fucking psychology than it does theirs. Have you actually been in a women's bathroom? We don't have urinals. We have doors. We sit. Nobody's actually going to see our vagina unless they put, cameras in and shit. Actually, I have. I've gone into a couple of different ones, because cleaning and work, and right. I needed to go pee, and the men's washroom was closed. Oh, we all do it. I'm so for unisex bathrooms because I think it just makes life easier. Yeah. But, yeah, so Freddie's throwing a tantrum. Oh, so I kind of want to touch on a little bit of what this guy's about. So I said, he's against inclusion of LGBTQ. Well, you've had a somewhat personal experience with him, right? I want to get into that, but first I want to talk about something else just to kind of show the mindset that this asshole has. So this is from the National Post from September 21st, 2014. Mm-hmm. Debate over human papilloma vaccine flares up in Alberta after Catholic leaders warn shots encourage premarital sex. That's right. Fred Henry believes that being protected against a known path to cancer means your instincts go towards sex. Granted, I have severe reservations with the HPV vaccine just because of the shit that's come up with it. Kids have died on it and shit. But and that's a whole other as issue. A woman, which is where HPV is most prevalent and more deadly, that kind of a prick does not make you want to put a prick somewhere else. Well, no, it's about protecting yourself against a fucking virus, not about, oh, I don't get pregnant, I don't get diseases, I'm gonna have sex with everything. I don't get one strain of thousands of cancers. There's one. I get it, Fred. You have seen several lovely young ladies walk in front of you, and you've not been able to touch a single fucking one. But you've gone home and you've thought about it. Those little plaid skirts and those little button-down white shirts. I don't know. I'm totally guessing off what I remember. I don't think they go with those anymore. But oh man, maybe that's why. But when your fucking mindset is, no, they can't be protected against a cancer causer because that cancer causer is a sexually transmitted disease, and we don't want to risk them having sex. Guess what? Abstinence training doesn't fucking work, you idiot. And that's and I mean, you would be shocked at how many stories I've heard of women that their husbands were their first time. Yeah. And they received HPV because either they were a carrier of it from their mothers and didn't know, or they were absolute fuckbags and fucked everything before they married their wives. Because, as we all know, a man can fuck whatever he wants. He's sowing a seed. A woman doesn't. She's a fucking whore. Well, yeah, but haven't you heard women are just fucking property? And how dare they be, that bucket that everybody's, or that cup that everybody spat in, or the gum that's been in everybody's mouth. How dare they? How dare they have their own sexual autonomy? Yeah. I just shit like this just never fails to send me into a bit of a rage. And when I hear people trying to defend the Catholic Church against that, I can't help but wonder, how separate are you from the actual fucking issues that you think this blasphemy is by far worse than the actual damage caused? The real human damage caused. And I was young when it happened, but when I was younger, they still hadn't even converted over from Latin Mass yet. When I was younger. So oh my god. Yeah, no. Ooka chaka, ooka chaka. All of that shit with the fucking myrrh and things, and fucking smoke is everywhere, and stale bread and fucking table wine, and all that crazy shit. I believe it. And we all remember that. And yeah, whatever. Pie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem. Pie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem.
Yeah, I was like, did I walk into fucking Tibet or am I at church? What the fuck's going on? Anyway, Catholics are pretty much taught that if you think for yourself, it's wrong. If you don't, if you don't go by this predetermined set of laws that God has laid out for you, and I mean, we can go as far back as Henry VIII, where all this man wanted, he wasn't happy in his marriage, and he just wanted a divorce. That's all he wanted. He just wanted a divorce. And the Catholic Church would not grant him it because it wasn't in the set guidelines of what God said was right. So he said, fuck you, and made his own church, which is now the Anglican Church. How funny is that? Who are now excommunicating whole branches, even though themselves are from a form of excommunication. Anyway.
God, it's amazing. Just give it a couple of hundred years and imagine where Scientology will be.
Oh, God. We can do a whole fucking show on Scientology. But, they've been programmed that everything is predetermined for you, so why bother thinking for yourself? And these men are, the Word of God, so they must have some kind of, direct connect to God that tells them exactly how they should be living their lives. So he comes around, he spouts a whole bunch of shit because, frankly, he's either afraid of sex or he's secretly in love with it. So due to his own perversions or fears or whatever, he tries to stop everyone from doing it so that he's not exposed to it and he doesn't have to deal with his own mind when it comes down to sex. If he can bar everyone from doing everything that may freak him out, he doesn't have to go home at night and think about it because it's not in front of him.
Yeah, either that or he feels, all in all, he just feels better about the fact that he's not supposed to be getting any strange, but...
Well, no, I think that's a big part.
As long as it doesn't involve little boys.
Except for the Pope, because I really think that he really, genuinely feels this shit. But I think a big part of these huge, outspoken religious leaders are, we're all human, and we all think dirty shit, and they've been told their whole lives that that's wrong.
And that's where the problem lies, is it's not the fact that humans, by nature, as Hitchens once said, he said it plenty, is that, our frontal lobes are too small, our adrenal glands are too small, and our genitals appear to have been created or designed by committee. This is a simple fact, is that, and he described the God of the Old Testament as the exact thing, or I think it was the God of the Old Testament, he described it as the exact thing that you would expect to come out of a species that is, 3% different from a chimpanzee. And that's
2% different from a fucking banana.
Don't go down the Ray Comfort road. He's his own special episode, yeah? Anyways.
Even the name, anyway. But I think humans by nature are just curious. We're curious creatures. Like most mammals, we fucked ourselves over going in and discovering shit. And, you kind of come to this instinct versus nurture crossroads when you come across something like sex is bad and, it has to be with your husband or your wife and it has to be missionary and completely fucking non-enjoyable and it's for procreation only. But then you have this counter curiosity that's instinctually in us. So what I think personally a lot of religious leaders do is, in order to avoid even thinking about it or having their mind drift to it, they just kind of try to shut everything down around them so that they're not exposed to it at all.
I'm struggling with where I fall on that coin, because I think that part of it is, some of them might actually believe that, sex is this, pedestal thing.
No, they do believe that sex is this pedestal thing.
However, I think part of the problem is also that they're
curious to see if it's not.
I don't know if I want to go that road, or if they realize the power behind sex, because we know that sex has power.
Honey, I'm a woman. I know just how much power sex can have.
I'm a guy. I know how much power sex can have. Trust me, my dick leads me fucking everywhere.
And I know that with the right clothes and the right look and the right little promises, I can get whatever the fuck I want. Well, not from everyone, but there are some dumbass motherfuckers that I could do it to.
Yeah, it's true. I get such a kick out of those guys. Actually, it's so sad when you see them on social media and some attractive woman says, "Oh, good night," and they're like, "Oh, good night, beautiful. Oh, good night, beautiful. Oh my God, good night, my queen." Blah blah blah. And it's fuck, dude, grow some fucking self-esteem.
If somebody comes up to me and it's "In what's up, sexy?" I won't talk to you.
Yeah,
I won't talk to you. And then I can get the unsolicited dick pic like I got today, by the way. If anyone wants to check out my Instagram, I blew him up on my Instagram. I pointed out who he was and hashtag the fuck out of it. So if you all want to check that out.
Oh, God, that was sad. I got to see
Yo,
the conversation that led to the dick pic.
Dude had no chill. He starts following me, and then he's like, you're really pretty. And I said, thank you. Wait, I'm gonna pull up the message because this was like,
oh dear God,
this motherfucker went from 0 to no chill. Oh no, wait, I blocked the message. I have it in my gallery though. I do have screenshots.
You better.
Of course I do. I said thank you. He goes, you're welcome. I may be young, but I am hung. And then sends me a dick pic. Like, it literally went from you're pretty, thank you, you're welcome, dick pic.
Yeah, I don't...
0 to no fucking chill.
Okay,
instantly.
Here's a request. Guys, if you've ever sent a dick pic, message me. Tell me why you sent it. I am so
No. We need to clarify this. If you've ever sent an unsolicited dick pic, because sometimes they're solicited, and those are okay.
Oh, see, I've sent unsolicited dick pics, but usually they're of, like, Andy Dick or Dick Cheney. Or...
You know what I mean? An unsolicited picture of your actual penis. If they're solicited, it's all good. If it's asked for, if the mood's going, and this is where it's going, then you're fine. If it's literally went, you're so pretty, thank you, you're welcome, I may be young, but I'm hung.
Boom! Dick pic!
Dick pic.
So anyway, so here we were going, like, all the way down, like, ha-ha land, topical lane, or whatever, and then, bam, dick pic.
0 to fucking no chill.
0 to dick pic. In, like,
oh my God.
half a second
nothing.
flat.
In, like, yeah, like, what?
But, like, I had a girl almost ask for one. Like, she was trying to feel me out, and okay, I'm gonna preface this by saying this chick was fucking psychotic, and I'm so glad we didn't
I know
date.
who you're talking about. Okay.
No, you don't. I don't think I've told you about this one. No. No, she's like, she's trying to get a feel. She's going, big is it? Blah blah blah. Can I see it? I'm going, no. You get to see it when you pull it out of my pants. Like that's how this shit goes. I'm sorry. I am a classy bitch. Wait, shit.
You want to try that again?
No, not really. Okay, I did promise our good listeners, so the people who have suffered through that conversation, now they get to listen to the experience that I have with our good friend Bishop Fred Henry, that asshole. Yeah. So, months ago, as I said, I'm kind of connected to the Catholic Church now. Right. A friend of mine, it was his daughter's confirmation. So, of course, I went out of support. He actually, Jen, you'd fucking love him. He's very much an atheist. He calls himself an anti-gnostic because it sounds very much like antagonistic, and
that's really awesome.
He's a shithead. He's such a shit disturber. There's a reason I love that man. And it was his daughter. It was her confirmation, and the bishop had to preside over it because I guess he's the only one who's like a level 60 priest or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how it works in the Catholic Church, but he's the only one with the magical powers enough to like say, you are now an adult because I touch you, and therefore no priest will want to fuck you. I forgot
you did mine because it's been so fucking long ago.
Yeah. So he opened it up with a bit of an allegory. It was the allegory of the eagle, and to sum it up, basically this eagle lives its life among the chickens because its mother, I think, is killed by a farmer, and the farmer finds the egg and, sticks it with the chickens. Why he'd do that, I don't fucking know, because I'm pretty sure eagles are carnivores and would eat his fucking chickens.
Yeah, okay, but whatever.
Yeah, so this imagery already starts to fall apart. Anyways, so this eagle goes its entire life thinking itself a chicken. And one day it sees an eagle, and the chickens go, oh, it's an eagle, it's like the king of the skies. And this eagle doesn't know it's an eagle, and it lives its life as a chicken. And confirmation is what turns you into that eagle, because the eagle is the lord of the skies, and nobody but a Christian is as majestic as an eagle. So there's a fuck you number one. Fuck you for calling me a goddamn chicken. I am not. Anyways, I don't lay eggs and I don't crow at the sun when it comes up. So number one, all atheists, we're chickens. We're not worth eagle, or we're not. We're with eagles.
Yeah, I'm a chicken because I'm fucking delicious. Anyway.
Bow chicka bow bow. So anyways, I probably didn't do the story in justice in terms of inciting the outrage, but it was like a month and a half ago. So, and the other thing that I got was during this, he was talking about, if a 16-year-old girl who, she's really poor, she can't provide a good life, and she ends up getting pregnant, and the dad runs out on her. She goes to see the doctor to find out her options, blah blah blah. Right. And according to him, the first thing a doctor would say is, well, we should probably get that thing out of you. What? So, doctors are inherently evil and believe that they can tell people who can and can't have children. Yeah.
Wow.
So, needless to say, and he's telling this to 12-year-old children. As I was hearing this story, I actually got slapped because I was shaking with anger. I almost had to leave because I was that outraged. But I can't understand. But what pissed me off most is that...
So it's just like, okay, don't go get prenatal care if you find yourself in a fuck situation.
Yeah, because women, how dare you try to, have some sort of autonomy, How dare you try to gain control over your reproductive glands, men.
But then they would be screaming that she got no prenatal care and she doesn't deserve to be the child's mother.
And let's fucking face it. No doctor in their right mind is going to think the first option is abortion unless
you ask about it.
No, the only way a doctor would approach the topic of abortion first is if the pregnancy would endanger the mother's life. That's
right, and even then, the first thing that they do say is, this is your decision, but...
Well, but I draw back to my point, is at no point would he sit there and say that's the first option. He would say, all right, as a new mother, there are various options. If
there are state services, there's adoption. They would go through this list. And normally they won't even say the word.
No,
unless you turned around and said, okay, but what are my options?
I don't know if I can keep it.
Right.
And if you told the doctor you didn't know you could keep it, then they would say, here is the information on it.
Right.
Because
and if they can provide them or not.
That's what it does. And if they can't, then they know exactly what resources to point you to because, hey, they're a fucking doctor. They spent a lot of years in school. They kind of know this shit.
And this is a medical procedure. I mean, this is...
Boom.
That's that. I'm sorry. A induced abortion. Because when you miscarry, it's actually medically labeled as a spontaneous abortion. So let's get this clear. And induced or... I forgot the other word for it. Abortion is a medical procedure.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't really none of you... But we have HIPAA laws in this country.
HIPAA?
HIPAA, health... Insurance Privacy
Protection
Policy Act, whatever, some fucking shit. That means that they can't really share information to anybody.
Which is, it's kind of what doctor-patient confidentiality is all about.
Right, no, but this goes above, to the hospital and transferring records, and there's transferring medical records. It's a whole big fucking thing anyway.
Yeah.
I don't walk in to your fucking appendectomy or your fucking tonsillectomy and be like, oh, they're not that bad and God gave you those, so they're just going to heal on their own and leave them there.
How dare you get glasses to correct your vision? God gave you those eyes. I command you to see. I am blind and I'm getting cataract surgery. Go fuck yourself.
This is pretty much what it is to me. It's, you get a DNC done. That's like me literally, I have reproductive issues, and that's like me walking into an operating room to a woman that has, something similar in mind and saying, no, you can't get those cysts removed because God put them there.
Yeah. No, it's this backhanded bullshit of, don't interfere with God's plans, but we're going to pray that God changes things.
Yeah.
God's
to make it better.
Perfect, but we're
so that you don't have to go on welfare
changes.
and, use my tax dollars to do it.
Yeah, I don't understand prayer. All it tells me is, I'm praying to change things.
You ever been in a stressful situation and you kind of just repeat the shit that you're doing to yourself to kind of be comforting? That's pretty much what prayer is. That's pretty much when you're kind of going through shit and you're like, okay, or if you've got a stressful day and you're like, okay, I need to do this and that, and you say it to yourself, just because it's a validation and a comfort thing. That's pretty much what prayer is.
Yeah,
it's repeating your own stressful shit back to you, thinking that you're handling it for comfort.
True. Oh shit! For some reason, my phone's going crazy.
That is the cutest sounding ringtone. Oh my god!
That was an alarm. It's a quiet little alarm reminding me that I should be considering going to bed soon. Oh, holy shit! I'm excited. Okay. I have earlier I saw a little post on Tumblr, and we'll get to our second news story after I finish this. So I found a little post on Tumblr about some person was writing to some atheist blog saying, please stop using the Christian tag or the tag of Christian or Bible or God. Maybe it was just Christian. Either way, the person's problem was that they found it rude. So I checked this person out, and their top post was about how atheists shouldn't use that tag Christianity because they try to use. Well, what they claim to do is that they claim that, if they use the tag of Christianity, it's, because they're trying to support or share good vibes, blah, blah, blah. So I sent them I reblogged their thing. The Tumblr that I did this on, by the way, is the same as my Twitter, and Atheist in YYC, all one word.
I really gotta check your shit. I just go to Tumblr and search for shit. I never actually look at the stuff that I follow.
Anyway, so basically I said, look, this is the utmost of Christian privilege. Just because I'm not as bad as some of the people using my beliefs, I shouldn't be held as accountable as them, or I shouldn't be compared to them, blah, 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 even though we believe the same fucking thing. So, I just sent them along a little message, and I guess they've responded to me, so I'm excited to check that out once we...
Did they use the atheist tag, though?
I don't know, I haven't
checked it out. You should have checked that out.
I know, but if I check out the notification, then I'll have to read it out on air, then I'll be thrown off, and it's like, it's just, this is a whole crazy thing.
We'll touch on this next week.
Yeah, we'll have to, next episode, I'll have to let you guys know how it goes. Matter of fact, right now, I'm gonna make...
I want screenshots.
Oh, that's it. Oh, our next episode is episode 20, holy shit.
I want screenshots. Oh, just to let everyone know, we will be delayed a week in April. It is actually the week of April 24th, because that is the season premiere of Game of Thrones, and I emotionally cannot handle watching the season premiere of Game of Thrones and then recording.
Don't worry, we'll figure something out, so we probably won't have to miss a week, but hopefully by then we'll have figured something out.
I'm just saying, if the week is missing, this is why. Okay?
I'm sure they will have forgotten all about it by now. Okay, so I've made that note. I will repeat
this every week.
Fair enough. Okay. So story number 2 now. And this is by far, I think, one of my favorite headlines that I've ever read. Pennsylvania judge slaps down ex-pastor who wanted volume discount for molesting boy 12 times. You didn't hear that wrong. So the opening to this article says, a Pennsylvania judge refused to give a former pastor a volume discount for molestation crimes this week after he claimed that his current sentence was too severe. Oh. So Jonathan D. Masteller, I don't care, was sentenced to 25.5 to 80 years in prison in November of 2014 after he was found guilty of 12 sex crimes involving a 12-year-old boy. You're right, he does deserve a volume discount. Fuck off. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe somebody actually had the balls to be like, I did it more times than anyone else, so I should receive a lesser sentence.
I have tapped that ass more than anybody else.
That is what a volume discount is. I have done this so many times that it's not even worth sentencing me this long for, so give me a reduced sentence. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, so,
That's like, so I can get less time for robbing 20 banks as opposed to 2.
Holy shit, that's a thing? Awesome, I love it.
It's the volume discount.
So I guess in Masteller molester's appeal to the court, he argued that the judge... No,
that's fantastic how well that worked out.
He argued that the judge, Joseph Madenspacher? Either way, the judge had punished him excessively by ordering him to serve consecutive sentences for some of the counts. He asserted that the judge had ignored factors like the former pastor's disadvantaged childhood, boo fucking who, that he was sexually abused as a child, sorry to hear that, but cry me a fucking river, and that he was sorry for his crimes.
Okay, so instead of getting help for the, horrific abuse that did happen to him.
Which is absolutely abhorrent.
As a child.
That's atrocious that happened, and I'm so sorry.
He joined an organization that basically told him to just repress it all. Repress the urges, repress the abuse, repress it all. Don't talk about it, don't get help.
More importantly, it told him that he was dirty for being raped.
Yeah, just be celibate.
Or for being sexually abused, sorry.
Just be celibate.
Yeah.
Because, that fucking makes sense.
Which, to be fair, if you had your sexual autonomy taken away from you, I can understand wanting to go into an organization where sexuality is frowned upon. I can understand that.
I can understand that, but you can also chemically castrate yourself, and you would probably hurt way less people.
Well, there's that too. That happened to Alan Turing opted for that, and then he killed himself, didn't he?
No.
Seriously, Alan Turing, the guy who broke the Enigma code back in World War II? Or the guy who gave us modern computing and algorithms?
Wait, did he do it because he was a child molester? And that's
he was gay. That was the punishment.
Oh, well, that's just sad.
Is it though? Actually, that reminds me. I have to watch The Imitation Game.
Yeah, if you chemically castrated yourself because you raped children, I don't give a shit what you discovered. Fuck you.
Yeah. So the funniest part of this on the Raw Story page is a senior judge wrote an opinion for the court saying that molester here is not entitled to a volume discount for his crimes. So do you want to hear the best part of this? No, that was the best part. So how molester was found out is that the 12-year-old actually had recorded it on his phone, and a third party had discovered the pictures and contacted police for it. No, we're just off of this link. It doesn't say who it was that reported him. Blah blah blah.
All right. I mean, they have to keep anonymity and protect victims.
Well, that and the fact that this is Raw Story, so I think it might just be a small blurb.
I love Raw Story because they do nothing but like small blurbs or like shortened stories, and it totally.
It's amazeballs.
It totally speaks to my ADD.
Oh, everything that I need to know to lose up to 20 pounds in 1 month. Awesome. Yeah.
Fuck, get divorced. Anyway.
I thought that was 28 pounds because that's what a soul weighs.
No, it was more like 280.
Ooh. Oof. And you're like barely 100 soaking wet.
I'm 105. 4'10", 105 pounds. Now granted, I am not busty. I'm surprised if I crack a B cup on a good day. But dude had like, I know, I have like tiny boobs and a huge ass. I'm so Italian. Anyway. Dude was rocking B's into C's. He was so overweight. Like,
that's gross.
Yeah. If I put a fucking Victoria's Secret bra on him, he'd have cleavage.
On that note, I think I'm going to pull out my soapbox for a bit here, because I have a little bit about Christian privilege, which might involve excerpts from my conversation.
He really is trying to say that he molested this child so many times that he should get a reduced sentence for molesting
Alright, fine,
child
I'm pulling out the larger story from penlive.com. Whoa, that's a face and a half. Okay, let me just read through the story. Don't worry, listeners. You get to listen to a shortened version of me reading this story. He was the victim's basketball coach and youth pastor, so that's fucking enlightening. That's inspiring as fuck.
Yeah. Makes me feel so secure as a single mother, let me tell you.
Yeah, no kidding. No, it doesn't really say. So I'm kind of curious about a little bit more about the whole.
What else could a volume discount be? Volume means sheer amount of time. He molested the child I know. Many times.
I was just kind of curious how the pastor tried to work that in.
Unless there's some kind of law in Pittsburgh that it's like super long sentences for older people. They give them like a volume discount because they're going to die anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the pastor was 25. Molester was like 25. Yeah. Yeah, and okay, I'm sorry. I have to poke fun at this guy's face. Have you seen the new Snapchat filter where it like shrinks your face?
Yes, because you sent me like 9 fucking snaps of it.
I made them my story. Get over it. That's what it looks like. This guy's face looks like. Only it doesn't all like concave. His face is like his head shape is normal, and then his face is like scrunched. And damn, he's got like
pull this up.
He has Latina eyebrows.
Cholas?
If that's what they're called, shit looks goddamn tattooed on, and it's all
I'm pulling it up now. You don't have to send it to me. I'm pulling it up now.
Well, too late.
I expected him to be white.
No, he wasn't.
I expected him to be white.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Probably because fucking white people like to do this shit.
Oh, and I have an installment of Shit Jen's Mom Said tonight too. So
that's excellent. Yeah. So, damn, it's so. And yeah, it's really hard not being racist about this because he's the basketball coach too. Like, I'm amazed we didn't go like, oh, he's definitely can't be white. How dare white boys play basketball and not be Mormon? Like, have you seen some of the Mormon kids play basketball? It is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I'll admit, like, I respect the shit out of their skills on the court. Like, damn. Now, if only they could see through their god bullshit.
Well, it's kind of hard to do when you have a house full of 27 wives that you can't see the front door through. Anyway.
So true. But on that note, I'm gonna pull out the soapbox.
I'm doing the Shit Jen's Mom Said first. You're talking about race relations in this country and, you know, just that shit.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Just that shit. And my mother looked at me, and my mother had a very rough life coming up, and she said, not once have I ever had a problem with a black person doing me wrong. It was always fucking white people that fucked me over. And I mean, if you look at my mother, she's this like 5'4", blonde-headed, gray-eyed, typical kind of Irish-looking mother. Like, you would expect her to be sitting at home over a pot of potatoes. It's hilarious.
Hilly potato.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she told me. She was like, every fucking time I've been fucked over, it's been by a white person. And she's like, she goes, so that really should say a lot of, she's like, and we both kind of said it, that, white, it's been touted that white is right. Yet meanwhile, black people are more fucking loyal than white people ever will fucking be. So who really is the better race here?
Hot damn.
Oh, question of thought. Leave some comments. Let me know. Leave an email. Nah, Keith, get on your fucking ivory box.
My soapbox.
Dawn box.
My soapbox. Yeah, alright, here we go.
Ta-da! Surprise, motherfucker!
Ooh, if anyone needs me, I'll be in the Angry Dome.
Canadian Premier Justin Trudeau recently made headlines when he called out current public relations Pope Francis to publicly apologize to the First Nations people affected by the residential schooling system that was active in Canada. The Catholic Church held the majority of the religious schools that used barbaric tactics such as beatings to force children of the First Nations tribes into a Christian upbringing. As a matter of fact, I'm making a note right now to actually do a bit of a research project on the subject for not only our overseas listeners, but for those who, like me, have this part of our public education subtly overlooked. But I digress. A Catholic I've encountered, upon hearing about this headline, quickly jumped to the defense of the faith. No, I'm not surprised, and nor do I feel it any detriment to their honesty. Standing up for what you believe in an honest fashion is at least worthy of some respect, if that respect is only because their honesty provides an insight as to what that person actually thinks. But what was offered was it wasn't only the Catholic Church. You heard me right. That is a defensive position about how the Catholic Church needs to apologize for its complacency with the residential school system. No, it wasn't about how sad it is that the native peoples of North America had their culture ripped out of their hands in such a violent way as to leave them with virtually no cultural identity. No, it isn't about how sad it is that most native peoples actually don't even know their native tongue. Let's focus on what's really important. That it wasn't just the Catholics. Never mind that the native peoples were tarred as savages and that their cultures were seen as primitive and barbaric. Even though we have so many reasons to believe that Christianity still clings to barbaric ideologies and flates said ideologies with such vigor that they actually chafe the cock upon which they suck. Society is moving forward. Secular values are slowly triumphing as we reach a hopefully more reasonable age, where ideology is more openly challenged and the crime of blasphemy is, well, it isn't a fucking crime at all. After the Charlie Hebdo attacks over a year ago, PR Pope proclaimed that blasphemy was provocation and that those guilty of it should expect a, quote, punch to the mouth, end quote, just like if you served an insult to his mother. Yes, according to Francis, it is justified when one's feelings are hurt. Because you see, the entirety of Catholicism is based around a petulant God who throws tantrums whenever he is impotent. And, by the way, this God is extremely impotent. When I hear someone attempt to downplay religious involvement in an atrocity, what I hear is a child speaking. I hear someone who cares more to explain their feelings instead of an account for actions in an open and honest way. Yes, I see this as a litmus test for integrity, since someone who can preach love yet defend hatred of such a vile manner is in fact somewhat disconnected from humanity and is more in touch with what makes them feel good. So, to those of you who are moderate enough to say atheists can get into heaven and that gays can get married, but still won't call out those who think blasphemy is a crime, you are the fucking problem. You won't stand up and laugh when someone makes a joke about your God. You won't withstand open and honest criticism. You think hurting someone's feelings is worse than taking a human life. You are dishonest about your love for humanity, and that is all that needs to be said. Blood is on your hands if you think for half of a second that blasphemy is a crime. Editor's note. So I made a reference during the show that I would attempt to discuss Christian privilege here. But during the recording process, it actually became something a little bit different. So because I promised a little bit on Christian privilege from the Tumblr arguments that I got in, I will now read the original post from Tumblr followed by my response. Please enjoy. Original post. Christianity. I track the Christianity tag here on Tumblr, and I've noticed that lately a lot of atheists and non-Christians are using the Christianity tag to spread their non-Christian beliefs. Yes, you are free to do what you please, but you're just being flat out rude. I, personally, use that tag to look at encouraging Bible verses and quotes relating to Christianity, and I feel that that's what a lot of other Christians who use that tag use it for. Sick, there was a comma after tag there. I'm Christian, and I'm not changing my beliefs just because of your little Tumblr posts, so please, knock it off. Response from an atheist NYYC, aka me. Behold, Christian privilege. Quote, I am trying to spread positivity, therefore I should be exempt from having to critically think about my beliefs. Because I am not actively doing the bad things in the name of Christianity that others are, you aren't allowed to challenge my ideas. End quote. So here's the rest of my response. No, you can whine, cry, and stamp your feet all you want, but your hurt feelings are of no consequence. Spread all the positivity with that tag that you wish. No one but your fans will care. But do not think for a second that your need to feel good supersedes all the damage that Christianity has caused to this planet and to human decency and dignity. The fact that you care more about your beliefs than the damage that those who represent your beliefs are causing is all that I need to see to know that your values are not with humanity. Well, I hope you all enjoy it. If anything comes of this, there actually wasn't a response. It was somebody else had responded, added on to what I had said. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit, and I look forward to hopefully following up. Maybe this person will have responded to me. Maybe we'll have had a bit of a back and forth. Maybe it'll be positive. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate and accuse that person of being childish, or at least too childish. But now, back to the show.
Now's the time our sprockets when we dawn. That's all the time we have. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen.
And with that, I guess all we have to say now is, again, we're on Stitcher. Check us out. Stitcher.com/NotAnotherAtheistPodcast. I think is the link.
Wait, when did we get on Stitcher?
I told you this last time when we had David around. I told you when we were on Cellar Door Skeptics, which, by the way, aside from the bit that I was not on because I had technical difficulties, and I'm sorry, Chris, my laptop fucked right up on me. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, we handled it. No worries.
I noticed.
No worries, we got it.
Actually, is that it happened to me with our interview with David, where it just, my laptop wouldn't let me log into Google Hangouts. So what I did is I kept my recording going, and then I just signed right into Google Hangouts through my phone while I did everything else on my
that's
laptop.
genius.
I know! I don't know why I didn't think of that. And then I corrected everything, and I was able to jump back in, which made me super happy, because, as always, we love talking to Dave. We're going to have him back on again in, hopefully, the nearer future, because...
I think that was the most intellectual conversation we've ever had on the show with Dave.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of weird. And, like, we've dragged him down a few levels, so, Dave, I am so sorry.
Yeah,
you are a better man than we made you out to be. No, he is one of the nicest people we've ever talked to. Chris Tanner and Chris Hanna, they are just amazing people, and we can't thank them enough for having us on. So check us out, episode 13 of Cellar Door Skeptics.
Also, I need to do a candidate plug real quick.
Oh,
I'm plugging Bernie again. Tonight, Bernie Sanders has released his Medicare for All plan, detailing exactly who would be paying taxes, what would be covered, and how we would wind up actually saving money in the long run. Even though our taxes may go up by a marginal 2%, we would actually be paying out less in taxes than we would that we're paying for premiums right now. If you go to BernieSanders.com, it's on his homepage. It is called it's under the Issues tab, called Medicare for All. I would greatly encourage every American to really take a look at this and actually take a look at the tax plan and what we would be saving, because it would literally cut our premiums in half. We would be paying up to a quarter to half less out of pocket for what's considered to be a basic human right. Is just healthcare for everybody. And you're now speaking to a mother who is having to go through the healthcare marketplace that has to wait forever and ever for Medicaid to even say if they're denying her child before she can actually purchase health insurance for her son. Now, when my son was throwing up and got sick, I was terrified that what was I going to do? We don't have insurance right now. And it's a scary fucking thing to go through. So I would really encourage everyone, especially with the primaries coming up in the first week of March, I would really encourage everyone to really take a look at this tax plan and see how it not only would save Americans money in the long run by not having to pay so much out of pocket for your health insurance premiums, but it gives everybody in this country an actual shot of health care without breaking the bank and actually creating a surplus. Again, go to BernieSanders.com. It's right under the Issues tab.
And since you're plugging Bernie, I can't help but point this out. So, at the end of Cellar Skeptics, as Tanner was leading into, what would be coming in the next episode, he made the mistake of doing this with us still on the air. So, I kind of interrupted when he started talking about who it was, and I recognized right away, and I was like, oh, that's Andy! Anyways, she's a Facebook friend of mine. She has been ever since we joined up with the Skeptical and Atheist Podcaster community. Mm-hmm. I have never actually talked to her. We've interacted a few times, I've commented on a couple of her... Yeah. We talked in the group, and I've commented on a couple of her things on her personal Facebook, and, she's either liked or said ha 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 or something. Right. I'm saying that because I want her to, find me at least funny, because then maybe she'll want to talk to me at some point in the later date. Not because, I'm interested. She's married to Nick Morganmore. He's a comedian.
Let me approach her.
Anyways, enough prattling. She was on Cellar Skeptics episode 14. It was an amazing interview. She does really good work. She helps protect women going into not necessarily Planned Parenthood, but other clinics that provide reproductive health services for women. She protects them, and it's absolutely amazing. Her story is fantastic. Episode 14 of Cellar Skeptics. But now she's also running for Alabama District 2 delegate for Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
So
you know what? I gotta look into that and see if I can do that.
That would be fucking awesome.
Because I'm like the one-man Bernie parade,
Yeah, you and Hannah. We should have Hannah on so you two can just gush about Bernie for an hour. I
actually want to have Hannah. I want to have both of them, both the Chris's on, because they're both from Michigan, on the crisis in Flint and Detroit with their water and their school system. So if you guys
saw that
listening,
pop up on Twitter.
We want to have you back because you're actually native people from Michigan, and I want to hear your thoughts on that.
You do realize we're going to end up talking to them before they'll have a chance to hear this, right?
Probably.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay. Anyway, so again, we're on Stitcher now. So if you're listening on Stitcher, this is kind of a redundant statement. iTunes, Facebook, spread us to all of your friends.
WordPress.
Jen needs to get laid. Jen needs to get... Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? Jen needs the attention. I really need the attention. I need the love. My ego is just not sated until I can see, how many people really love me.
We're self-esteem poor. Help us.
So with that, thank you everybody for joining us.
It was lovely to have just two of us again. This was wonderful.
Jen, I missed you. Right down here.
I missed you. Yeah,
right here.
Right in the nipple.
This is where I'm...
I missed you in the nipple. Right there, right in the nipple.
Wait, is that the sensitive nipple?
Yes, this is the one that ticks.
Wonderful. Okay.
Any woman that has had a child and is lactated from their breast knows exactly what I'm talking about with the tingle. You all fucking know.
Okay. So with that, thanks everybody for joining us. We really appreciate it. Check us out. Share us with all your friends.
And the Russia guy, please, or the Russia person, please, get in touch with us. Thank you.
Please, Mother Russia, talk to us.
Love it. Thank you.
Got a feeling, I believe in The Not Another Atheist podcast experience is run by Jenn and Keith. If you wish to contact the hosts, please write to nehehp@gmail.com. They can be found at facebook.com/NotAnotherAtheistPodcast or search Not Another Atheist Podcast on iTunes and Stitcher to subscribe and leave reviews. Oh, sorry, hang on.
Ooh, baby. Please let me hate fuck you.
Think of the children.
I've got to get on the ball with this shit.
Bam, dick pic.
I'm shitface and I'm going to tell everyone why I love Keith.
I am a classy bitch.
Yeah, I'm a chicken because I'm fucking delicious. Anyway.
That's a mouthful and a half right there.
That's a ball's mouthful right there.
I added that fucking for brevity. Did you like that?
God, I saw Jesus last night in my vibrator.
I have tapped that ass more than anybody else. Go fuck yourself.
I'm picking up my panties and I'm going home. Okay?